All right, it's tip of the day. We have an OPA569, a Burr Brown part, a rail-to-rail I/O, 2 amp power amplifier. So 2 amps is pretty healthy. High output current, 2 amps. Output swings to 150 millivolts to the rails. So there's a little bit of overhead there going up and down. So instead of going all the way up to VCC, it'll be 1.15 volts less than that. Adjustable current limit, 2 flags. It'll tell you whether it's in current limit or temperature warning. That's interesting. Low power supply voltage, 5.5 volts, 2.7 volts. That's interesting. Let's see here, shutdown function, small power package, blah, blah, blah. What can you use it for? You can use it for, here's some marketing stuff, thermoelectric cooler drivers, laser diodes, transducers, blah, 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 blah. Let's see here, let's take a look. So let's talk about the package first. So here is a diagram of the package. So it has one of those exposed metal parts on the bottom side that you solder down to a big slab of copper on your PC board. You have to make sure you're going to heat sink things away. So power is going to come out the bottom of this. So probably what you would do is you would put a whole bunch of thermal vias. What is a thermal via? It's a regular via, except it's big, and sometimes you fill them with solder so you have a really good metal-to-metal contact from the front of the PC board to the back of the PC board, and that's where you would attach the heatsink. So to putting the heatsink on top, you would put the heatsink on the bottom, kind of a weird thing. That's the way that works. And then there's this little dotted lines to the corners. And if you take a look at the corners, they also say power pad, power pad, power pad, power pad, power pad in the middle. So it's a little bit odd. So let's take a look at the recommended layout, PCB layout. Let's see. It's in here somewhere, probably in the back. Here it is. So once again, you would have this big piece of copper here, and here's all these thermal vias that I talked about. So vias to the other side, and then the corners are attached also. So you're trying to pull as much heat out of this part as you can. And then some of the pins are double, right? So the negative V is doubled and plus V is double, and the output is tripled. So three of the lines are the output. So that's very interesting as well. And everything else are singles. Let's see, via connection. They're saying you should do a solid via, not a thermal relief via. That's an option in something like KiCad, where you can turn that off and get a solid via. Makes it harder to solder, but you get a better contact. And then thermal land, minimum areas of copper. Yeah, so they want you to get the heat out of this thing. All right, so let's. All right, here's the basic connections here. So they want you to have some good bypassing, and also 47 microfarads and 0.1 microfarads on the plus rail and the minus rail. Then they have this as a non-inverting amplifier. They have these 2 resistors that set the gain. There's an interesting thing here that I've always wondered about myself, and that is they have, yeah, it's kind of strange. So they have the plus V bypass capacitors down to ground. And here they have the negative V capacitors here down to ground. But then, in addition to that, they have a 47 microfarad capacitor from negative V to plus V. And that's always been an interesting thing I've never really gotten a satisfactory answer for, is you've got these other ones aren't they good enough? Why do you need this one across the plus and minus V? I just haven't thought about it hard enough, but that's an interesting feature of the way they're having you lay this out. So people can comment below about this rail-to-rail capacitor and what function it does. All right, so we have an R set here. So you can set the current limit of this thing by selecting values. So if you wanted to limit it to 1 amp, you would put in an 11.5K resistor here from pin 19 to the negative rail, and that would set your current limit. And they kind of explain it down here how that works. Here's something you might consider in many things, and that is to put some clamping diodes on the output to make sure that, because this thing's really swinging back and forth, and you might be driving an inductive or capacitive load, you might generate some spikes, and you would grab those positive spikes and throw them onto the plus rail. If they go above the plus rail, you'd clamp them, or here if they go below the minus rail, you would clamp them. And you would use a Schottky to have a very, very low, 0.2, 0.3 volts, something like that. I should have shown this earlier. Here's that power pad on the bottom, that piece of substrate. The silicon die is bonded right onto that big piece of metal, and then you solder that down onto the PCB board to get the heat out. Because normally the die sits right here in the middle of an epoxy package. It's on the lead frame. This has it on this piece of metal and wire bonded on and everything. So get the heat out better. Here are some applications: driving an LED. Driving a thermal cooler, driving, what the heck are they driving here? LED regulation for constant optical power. So they have an LED, they have a photodiode that monitors the LED, then they feed back that, yeah, kind of a weird application, but that's the way it is. Okay, so I have bad news. And that is, I have one hooked up here. Obviously, I wasn't able to get to the power pad, but I thought I could operate it at low currents and it would be fine. And it doesn't work. And I may have done something wrong. I don't know if it might have been me. I might be guilty. And it might be a good learning experience for the video here. And that is, you see things like 2.7 to 5.5 volts, right? And you go, okay, and then it's a plus and minus. Then you go to the applications, okay, and you see the applications. Like you go to this application, it's plus and minus 2.5 volts, and you go, okay, and then you go to some of the other applications, and your brain might say, oh, plus V and minus V, it goes up to 5.5 volts, so we can have plus and minus 5 on this part. So plus and minus 5. Obviously, op amps, you always think about plus and minus 12 to begin with, or plus and minus 15. Well, this is a low voltage part, so okay, it kind of told me that up front, it was 5 volt part. So plus and minus 5 volts seems like a reasonable system to do for things like this. Well, it's not plus and minus 5 volts. It's 5.5 volts max. That's where that 2.7 volts comes in. It's plus or minus 2.7 volts max. So it's a bit, you got to worry about it. I put plus or minus 5 volts on it. So I think I probably destroyed it. And that's why it doesn't work any longer. So unfortunately I won't be able to demo it. I only have one part. So we'll just have to go with datasheet fun today, okay? And that's the ship of the day was an OPA, the 569.